Hello, welcome to the Go Mode podcast tournament. This is brackets. This is a game 3 versus Maniacal and 2C, and the mode is hybrid major glitches. I'm joined by Don Veneur. My name is JD Silvergun. How are you, Don?
Well, all right. I've been excited for this all week. I missed the first one and two games because they were scheduled for times that I'm not normally awake, and we found the hammer inside of the bonk rocks. I'm actually really excited about that. I hate finding the hammer so late.
Yeah, hammer is one of those items that can be really trolly in this mode if you have a pendant ice, or I mean, crystal ice, excuse me, or crystal pod. Definitely.
It just like locks so much behind that one item is why I hate finding it late and like forces you to double dip dungeons you don't want to be double dipping. And 2C not finding anything is Sahasrah's hut.
Meanwhile, Maniacal did the new DMA, rescuing the old man. Good to get this out of the way early.
He found that hammer and just went straight up the mountain. Didn't even check the forest at all. I'm kind of surprised. Usually, kind of do like a counterclockwise loop there to get out of the way.
Yeah, that is a little bit surprising, but I'm a fan of putting off going to town in any kind of glitched mode because there's so much you can do. And if you don't have any money or bombs or preferably a bottle and powder or flute, there's just a lot of good reasons to avoid town, and I'm glad that people are seeing that.
Yeah, 2C is doing what more is what I expecting is like this kind of counterclockwise loop going through the forest here, and Maniacal with an entrance that I don't really see pretty much anyone do.
Yeah, I only do that when I like die in Spiral Cave or Paradox Cave, and then you have to go back across. That's the only time I use that one, but it is good to know.
Like, the interesting about it is he does have bombs. I mean, he does have a weapon to actually deal with everything here, so it's not like it's too terrible, but like, I feel he's slightly under-equipped, and there's a bow there. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely a good early find. Especially because we know that Eastern is a crystal, it looks like, the 2C has marked.
I didn't even see the map check. It was so fast.
I didn't see it either, but it appears to be marked on his tracker. A Lumberjack DMA on 2C side.
You going top down? We found lamp and some mail, so we have olive pot, olive Eastern completable now. We have like every single Light World dungeon completable, maybe Tower of Hera, depending on where the boss key is.
Yeah, 2C is going to give us that info right now.
Nice little upper butt by Maniacal to make his way all the way to Spiral Cave. And Tower of Hera is not accessible. You had to go through Misery Mire.
Indeed. It'll be interesting to see where the hookshot turns up, because that's always a fun sequence break in this mode. Just Harapot to the top.
It makes this mode so much nicer. Like, if that glitch wasn't discovered, I feel like HMG would just be even more of a pain, because you'd have to go through Mire so much more often.
It definitely makes it interesting if the hookshot is behind something in Hera, that's for sure. In the top of Hera, I should say.
Alright, I'm kind of curious where Maniacal's going. After all of this, not saving quitting after Spiral Cave. Yeah, I actually
Super
have no
Bunny,
idea.
I think. Well, it could be
Oh,
Super
yeah,
Bunny
that
or
makes sense.
Zora area.
Super Bunny does make
One
a
of
lot of
the two.
sense. Got the hammer already up here. Or just going to Tower of Hera. I feel like this was actually a slower way to go.
I will
Going to
tend to
Graveyard
agree with
Ledge.
you on that. Yeah. Saving and quitting takes about 15 seconds or so, and then you could just clip to Hera from where you started, the old man.
Cole clips in a dash down, and he makes it down to the graveyard ledge. Farms some bombs.
Yeah, that bomb farm is the really great feature of playing glitched modes.
Yeah, I feel like that bomb farm, like, it has a little bit of skill, like, that you need to get that. Just because you gotta race the boulders, and if you're not confident in your clipping, it can be really deadly with only 3-4 hearts.
It definitely is. Fortunately, I mean, the way 2C did it is not too bad. If you only have to buffer in like a little bit, like 2 to 3 times, and then do the dash turn. Some people try to do the teleport, and that is very difficult, I would say.
Oh yeah, I want to attempt that. Maniacal going straight to the hobo now. Quick 50.
Yeah, nothing was in Graveyard Ledge either, so bit of a dry spell for the seed for these few moments, but I think we're gonna see something new in a second here from Maniacal.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to be surprised if he just rushed Eastern straight up. There's like 6 items right there he can grab. It's all in logic.
Yeah, definitely. We'll save a little bit of time over 2C on efficiency, doing Saha on the way to Eastern.
Yeah, the difference being like if he finds like the mirror somewhere before coming to this direction, he can do pot into Eastern, but that's probably the most efficient he can get out of it. Without like really losing too much.
That's a good point. The mirror in this mode is, I mean, you might see it, you might not. The mirror logical significance in this mode is really only Mimic Cave if you have the Moon Pearl.
Yeah.
If you don't have the Moon Pearl, then it can have a lot of implications.
It really is next to nothing here.
But speaking of which, we have not seen the Moon Pearl, and I personally am hoping for a Dark World Moon Pearl. Just let's troll these guys a little bit on their game 3.
Oh man, I don't want that at all. I want a nice fast game. I want to see like their limits pushed. But I guess putting it in Dark World would push their limits.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it that way, but sometimes if there's a jet seed and one of them misses the jet, then it's not that they lost on necessarily a skill level. But I don't know, there are a lot of variables involved with that. We'll see what happens. So far, nothing in Eastern. It was a good go mode Eastern if you've never come here with that early big key.
TwoC also just saving quitting out of that cave. Don't want to deal with the Moldorms. I don't know what his plan is from here. Maybe King's Tomb? No, he's going back up the mountain. Oh, he's probably going to pod. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's full clearable in logic with the lamp and the bow and hammer.
I wonder how long we're going to put off Kakariko till now.
I mean, there are a couple faster ways to get to this cave, but if he is not comfortable with it, going the normal way is perfectly fine, but gets the bomb clip first try. Very nice.
Yeah, the method that I always use for this is just clipping straight into Tower of Hera. The Kiki 8, I think that's what it's called. That is too many precise movements. Too many like order of operations you have to complete just to get there. Sure, it's faster, but it's not something I want to learn.
Yeah, it becomes second nature like a lot of these tricks. I don't know, I just kind of take a lot of that stuff for granted because I have done a bit of a grind on RMG categories, and even like deeper major glitch categories utilize that as well. It's just something you learn because it's part of the run.
I'm really interested to see what these hold because like if I find an item, I really want to push that item. And so they're both in spots that I really want to be at. And they're both crystal dungeons, pot is too.
Well, our very nice and friendly restreamer Malmo usually says about this mode that the bow points to pod in HMG, not Eastern. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think during the HMG tournament a couple years ago, someone else was saying that too, or during Overworld glitches. When I was learning it myself for the other mentor tournament, was yeah, the bow points more towards pod than it does Eastern, because it locks a lot more. Half magic is so convenient. I love finding that. Anything that
Yeah,
could
definitely.
possibly considered a safety, I enjoy.
Yeah, it's one of the most powerful items in the game, honestly. Like, of all the items that are removed in the hard item pool, like, that one is the most impactful, I think. Not silvers or armor.
Like in a way too, like I like it for a lot of the bosses. Just like the one that points out the most is like Cold Stare, because it increases your damage output by so much. And we found a bottle at Eastern.
Well, we'll see if that has any logical significance here. Eventually, when we get to Sick Kid. Since we haven't seen any other bottles as of yet. But it is the first crystal on the board for Maniacal, less than 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's really good pace. He's going at the mountain as well. Saving quit up here. Yeah, it looks like he's running straight to pod now too.
So a lot of people can avoid what TwoC just did and deduce that there's a key in Harmless Hellway. I rarely play non-key sanity modes anymore, so I don't really remember how to do that if I ever knew.
I pretty much wrote pod the same way every single time. Which is, I clear the entire front side and then I work my way to the back, do the underground loop, and then from there if I have 2 keys. But in this mode you basically steal a key using that cave state key. So you gotta be counting to 3 keys after that, after the loop.
That's good to know. Well, he was counting items because he's not going after the top chest in the maze, just taking a death warp right away. And that red armor, so 2 nice safeties in pod, but no progression, so to speak, yet.
It's really nice to have that safety too. Oh, maybe he...
Oh. Oh no, this is just hitting the switch.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have any arrows.
He doesn't have any... Exactly, yeah. That is an awkward spot. I wasn't watching, but did he grab the arrows on the way to the vanilla big key chest? I'm guessing not, because I don't think he would have used them on anything. But that's a really good spot to grab arrows if you don't have any. And didn't do the right side, so couldn't get those arrows either.
Look in the hammer dash strats.
I'm a big fan of doing that on the ball and chain guard in Hyrule Castle, just a surprise attack. But you gotta let off the dash quickly, though.
I like it with like a bow dash on it. Alright, Maniacal going to hover the right side. So he's gonna be losing time then.
Well, not as much time as if he walked it, at least. But yeah, I think Maniacal was able to deduce, or not Maniacal, TwoC deduced correctly that there were 2 small keys on the side and just decided to skip it. Now that's a very difficult hover to do, so at least he got it and didn't waste that much time on it.
Yeah, because you gotta be at the right, like, y-axis. Start going across, and then you gotta only be partially inside that wall, and then turn direction. It is very difficult. Then if you go too far when going down, you grab the wall and fall off again, so yeah, it's very precise to get that.
Yeah, hovering's one of those things I just haven't tried to pick up yet. Even though I probably should, just because it's like most powerful in no logic, which is my favorite mode, but I don't know, there's too much to learn in this game.
This Helmosaur is dashing down to the bottom so often.
Yeah, Helmosaur, if he wants to sandwich you against the wall, it's just gonna happen, but with that red armor, there's no danger. 2C gets it done, so gets his first crystal at about 1540. I don't think Quake was in Pod,
Quake
but
was in
if it
Paradox
was, it was the
Cave.
very first. Yeah, so if it was, it would have been the very first chest that I missed. But yeah, so there literally was nothing in Pod, only safeties. Looks
Alright,
like we're getting
2C going
Eastern
to
from
Eastern now.
2C.
Just back and forth with these two dungeons.
It makes sense. It looks like we're getting the nice little shortcut as well.
I love seeing this.
Yeah, I have to tell myself not to do this when I play no glitches modes like ladder or something. It just becomes a habit. Like this is how you go to Eastern.
Yeah, it didn't look like either one really wanted to pick up too much money in the rupee room in Pod. Not worried about Zora, I guess. I guess there's a bunch of checks that you can do to find money first.
You know, that's funny you bring that up because I was actually just thinking about how Zora is always in logic in this mode, like with nothing. So that is definitely a kind of a trolley item location. We've not seen anything in Kakariko yet. Not seen Desert or even South Shore. So there's a lot of Sphere 0 or Sphere 1, however you want to look at it. They left. Is that they're just doing the dungeon clear mode, which makes sense since they can, but it's not giving us a lot of info about the seed yet, unfortunately.
I always say that in like this mode, it starts once you find Moon Pearl. Like for me,
You could look at it that way.
like as soon as you find Moon Pearl, all the items, all the progression you got leading up to that Moon Pearl allows you to choose your route in Dark World. And that's when I feel like the routing really like changes for people. Whether they start up, start down, start at the mountain, go to GT right away, like there's so many different options in the Dark World.
I mean, it's interesting that you would hold that point of view. I'm not going to say you're right or wrong, but there are definitely some HMG seeds that are completable without Moon Pearl, that it's not too difficult. I wouldn't recommend that to a newer player to glitched modes, but yeah, like sometimes when you just clear so much of the game and you haven't found it, like sometimes it's just you just like, does it save time if I actually go get this Moon Pearl, or should I just end the game? Like there are seeds that are like that. And neither of them popped into the Dark World at all, not even to check the map, which isn't that surprising. It's a race, and like the transition between worlds takes a while. But I'm really curious if we have 3 crystals in the Light World and a crystal in Pod. So I guess 4 crystals in the Light World you could look at it as. But no Moon Pearl in Pod, which is kind of an HMG staple.
I really enjoy seeing 3 crystals in the Light World. Like I said, I just enjoy fast matches. I don't want to be going on a nice rod hunt, fire rod hunt, medallion hunt. So the more pendants in the Dark World, the better.
Well, something else that might come up Yeah, I'm pretty sure TwoC can Moldor and bounce, and Maniacal demonstrated multiple times that he can hover, so if this is a pendant swamp and the hookshot is nowhere to be found, that could get an interesting GT situation. And it looks like Maniacal's finally going to town here. Oh yeah, Maniacal didn't do the Lost Woods yet, never mind. Well, he'll probably go to town afterwards, maybe?
Oh, yeah, it does seem pretty close because they did everything each other did, I believe. I don't remember if Maniacal did Graveyard Ledge, but yeah, they
Um,
pretty much just
I
did
want to
each
say
other's
no,
tricks.
but I want to say he did not, but I could be wrong. It was only 10 arrows, so we... I'm gonna say probably not, but... Or that only hurts him if he goes back to check it later. Yeah, it looks like 2C has got a very slight lead at the moment.
Yeah, just like what, 2-3 screens? That's about it. Maybe one
Yeah,
additional
nothing
check.
that can't... Yeah, nothing that can't be turned around by routing later, depending on where the items are. Nothing so far in blinds.
Yeah, half a heart and not really much else.
Since there's so many places like progression items can be in glitched modes at the start of a game, I don't know, sometimes you get what I call like the trash Rico as opposed to the stack Rico. So we'll see. So far, nothing.
I'm more of a fan of like rushing CAC really, just the standard route for most
Well,
modes.
well, you would have been rewarded this time with that flute, which is not always the case. But you're not penalized for coming here early if that's there, because you can come back whenever you want to finish off the one-offs and then greater mobility throughout the rest of the seed.
Like I just like having the
Smart.
safety of all the hearts or whatever trash items to help you get along when going up Death Mountain.
Yeah, that's fair. Like the mountain, I mean, yeah, people definitely die on the mountain, like runners of all skill levels. It does happen on occasion. There's that Zora money.
Yep, just barely made it across that threshold.
Other than that, Samaria and Flute, so far, nothing. Just bombs on Sit Kid.
Yeah, just convenience. Shield on library.
Shield. Okay, 2C skips it. I wonder if Maniacal goes for it. Some people like their strats, they use shields. And if I have it, I do use it. I would never go out of the way for it, though.
Yeah, I think for me, I think in Swamp, for one of the shooters, it's nice to have, and then Mirror Shield specifically for Laser Bridge and Mimics 2 in GT. I like having it for.
2C clipping into Desert. Maniacal gonna follow right behind, it looks like. Having a little bit of trouble. Maybe wasn't sure about the visual cue. But gets it, though.
Yeah, and also just ignoring that 300 too.
Yeah. Understandable.
Like, the only things we have left for that 300, I guess, would be maybe to get a blue goo to get a fake flute. or like uh, chest game, digging game.
Yeah, they're probably just going to naturally get money on the way. Yeah, there are seeds where fake flutes definitely come in handy for routing. But with how long it took him to do like the standard clip, I'm not surprised Maniacal skipped it, because the steal the race game item clip does have a soft lock potential if you mess it up. I mean, I guess not because they have the flute, but it's still a time loss either way.
Yeah,
I'm not
having to run
surprised
all the
that
way
either of them
back.
skipped it.
And second item on the boss. No gloves, so they got to finish on the boss.
Well, they're not trapped though, because they have the flute, so they could flute to 6 and finish off the loop, do K45 and back to Agina.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot that you can
I mean, if
flute in
they
the
want
desert
to.
area.
If they want to, they could choose to skip that stuff, but you never know.
Yep, TwoC going straight for the back.
Yep, it's a crystal, and I mean, definitely this fight definitely would get easier later with better items, but it's a crystal and an item, so you're not gonna leave this behind.
Yeah, like let's just say it could have the glove, which means if you did loop around the other way, you'd have to like loop around a second time just to get the checkerboard cave. So yeah, I like doing it first. Now that you mentioned the flute.
Yeah, that'll be funny if there's a glove in desert. And yeah, checkerboard is one of those locations that is very commonly orphaned in this mode and no logic. And I'd imagine overworld glitches as well, but I've less experience with that mode.
Alright, put our archery skills to the test. I would.
Yeah, this bow
I'd use some
Landmo fight
leg.
is so bad. 2C's getting some shots in though. I had to do this in a cross keys a couple days ago, and I had like no arrows left afterwards. It was bad, but no, this is.
Yeah, that was
2C
really
actually
good
did a
one
really
there.
good job.
Wow.
Wow.
I would have
I
used
mean,
the Canis and Maria and get some extra hits in here or there, just chip them down. But that was
even the
really good bow
hammer.
usage.
The tempered damage is not bad if you know the timing, but yeah, that was good. I mean, I don't know what an NMG runner would say, but for someone like me who only plays like glitched vanilla and rando, like that was a good fight.
Maniacal swapping out the bow. Gotta be a little bit careful. They still do 1 heart of damage for some things. Alright.
Yeah, the
The hammer
damage
works out so
tables in
much
this
better.
game. Yeah, the damage tables in this game are kind of whack. Like the armor's helpful, but I feel like you kind of get gypped on certain situations. Like spikes always do 1 heart. Like the bosses, it takes down. It doesn't cut it down the same way like regular enemy damage gets cut down.
Alright, TC not comfortable with this clipping right there.
Yeah, it
Just a skip.
happens.
Skip so
I don't know, it took me quite a long time to get fast at boots clipping, and I still mess it up sometimes. Or like, even worse, sometimes I would like drink too much coffee and like before playing, and like if your hand is like not steady, like you can't consistently like do a clip. But I don't know, there's just a lot of factors that can affect clipping, even if you know how to do it. It's kind of one of those weird skills.
yeah, everyone seems to have like their own method for clipping too. Like I rotate the controller 90 degrees and use my right hand, use my thumb for holding the sword out. And then I just kind of like go up and down with my wrist and just like keep my fingers steady.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is what you're describing, but I do it the way that was described in Super Sketch's like video on YouTube. If you yeah, you rotate the controller, you left thumb on the B button, and then right thumb A, and then one of either index or middle finger on the D-pad. And I know there are a lot of different ways, and I have tried out a lot of different ones, but I think in the end, just picking one way and going with it is going to be more successful than what I did, which was trying out a lot of different styles. A
It's
glove
the
on Joint
same, but the
Ledge.
opposite for me. I use the thumb to be able to like use that to move around with. Oh man, you gotta check Zora first, and then if Zora's nothing, you can just run back, clip into it. Otherwise, if it is something, you have the stuff to splash delete.
Yeah, they can. I was about to say they can do that obnoxious splash delete. It's tight timing. If you don't mash and swim like cardinally, yeah, it's just not gonna work.
He's gonna splash delete, but oh, I think you. I don't think you can save that actually.
That is going to be an unfortunate time loss, or he could just choose to leave it behind. So we don't know if the glove is actually going to lead to anything yet. Like, it is a progression item, but it might not be the one they need at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes back. It looks like he's going back right away, so. However.
Memoldum Cave.
Oh, well. I wouldn't have fluted to 8 from any Boulder Cave. I don't know if that's incorrect or not, but I don't know.
He didn't check the dam.
Yeah, I would have
Yeah,
fluted to 7 and do dam into Mini Boulder Cave.
Yeah, Memoldum Cave had just the ice rod.
Well, no ice rod hunts today for
Oh
these
man,
runners.
not getting that glove is actually kind of bad because he did not do anything outside of desert. So he kind of wants to
Yeah,
go get that before coming back just to get checkerboard as well.
well, he's setting up the water walk. And yeah, I honestly think that clipping is easier than doing what he tried to do with the splash deleting on that waterfall. Is just so finicky. Like, I've seen runners of all skill levels fail that. Like, I've done it before and missed it other times. I don't know, and another thing that I don't see people doing, but which is not necessarily criticism because it's all preference, but you can like buffer, like you would open the select menu and change your grip on the controller so you don't have to worry about like enemies blasting you like these Zoras or like boulders on the mountain.
Yeah,
So you
2C
can
is
like
being very
regrip.
careful.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I like to, if you scroll the screen and go back, it alters the enemy patterns. So it can be easier sometimes. That's another thing. Again, maybe not the fastest way, but it is safer.
A Maniacal was a hopped on ledge or got hit or something because now he has to run back and try and do splash delete again.
Yeah, this is unfortunate, but it's part of it. I really used to hate this item location. I still kind of do, but not as much. But see, if you get a little bit into the wall like TwoC is, even if he gets hit by an enemy, he's in enough that he would be able to continue clipping at least. It's just getting it started is the most important part for this.
I was just gonna ask, is he too high? Is he not gonna even get the jump from there? Yep, he's readjusting and go a little bit further down.
I don't know, this clip is kind of weird. It's hard to know, but yeah, it looks like his clips like his buffers like weren't 100% clean because otherwise he wouldn't be getting any vertical
Like,
motion there. And yeah, I've definitely been there. Okay, that's good. Just needs to do it once more.
Maniacal
Then do
getting
the walk
the
around.
splash delete on his first try the second time around.
Yeah, that was nice. It was very well done. And there is a way to clip directly to the item, but I don't see anyone doing it. It's a bit more difficult.
And there's the moon pearl locked behind that glove. Well,
Well, we
maybe not
say
locked
that,
behind the
but
glove, but
well, it was the small key back there as well, because then logically that would be correct.
got too excited. Can't even tell you. I saw the map. I saw that much.
And for those that are not aware, there is a swim clip to get to the back escape as well. And if you get it on the first try, it's not that slow to do it. It's a play. Okay, the small key is not back there, so this, with the lamp, that was logical without the glove, actually, but nonetheless, they have it.
Maniacal just going top down. Not gonna mess with Death Mountain clips at all. Just run straight to the portal. We got Green Pendant, Turtle Rock, Skull Woods, and Misery Mire. That means we don't really need the fire round. If we get the bombos. Fire round could be used for GT, of course, but
yeah, we'll see.
don't have
Depending
your 5
on
medallions, maybe. Oh, it's beautiful.
well, if Bombos is locked behind Ice Palace, or specifically the Freezer Room or Cold Stare for this mode, then they're gonna need that fire rod, but we'll see. Village of Outcasts versus Hype Cave start in the Dark World, 2C. Getting bombs, rupees, heart container, powder, shields. Okay, not a very hype cave.
I really enjoy starting counterclockwise. You just get a lot of the bulk out of the way towards your first dungeon. Well, Thieves Town.
I don't know, for me it just depends on the seed. Because with the hammer, Maniacal might be thinking to full clear Thieves Town. With no risk of leaving an item behind going in there. Looks like we're getting a Meyer medallion check from 2C.
It's kind of interesting. I think he likes doing left-handed clips better. So I'm surprised that he's going for a teleport on the right there rather than on the left.
Yeah, people say that most people have a preference that it's easier to go one direction or the other. For me, I think it's easier to clip left than to clip right. For whatever reason, maybe just the way my hands are. Obviously, the problem with left clips is that you have to adjust back to the right 1 pixel, but it is what it is.
We need bombos to open up Misery Mire.
Okay, so that is looking like your fire rod might not be logically required, then potentially. Maniacal into Thieves Town as well, looks like is going for the full clear. 2C using that pause buffer strat a lot, which, I mean, it works if you're not comfortable using the B button. You could use the Y item as well. Using the hammer to buffer might actually be faster than using the pause menu. And there's that bombos.
Key under the doormat kind of situation.
Neighbor has the key while on vacation. I don't know. What do you call that? Well, it can't open it anyway without a sword. That's one thing we've kind of been glossing over, is they need 2 swords for go mode. Unless one is on the overworld and they can dupe it, but it looks like we missed our chances for those locations.
Yeah, I don't mind that Maniacal's doing Thieves Town at all. Like, yeah, sword would be more convenient for fighting the boss and dashing through stuff, but like, you have a bunch of safety.
Yeah,
it is a crystal.
It's aggressive play. The 2C going to Meyer with the newly found sword at Big Game, Bombos from Stumpy, and Samaria from our bottle merchant.
So this is really interesting.
I mean, he can unlock Hera, and that is a crystal, so that still could be considered an
maybe that's
aggressive
what's
play.
on his mind. I mean, he's not even thinking about doing this way. The question's like, is he gonna keep going and unlock even more doors to get the key for Swamp, or is he gonna go from all the way to Swamp from here?
Well, he can do doors. He can do some interesting stuff with this, especially if there's not an item on Vitreous. So he can get the Meyer pendant from Moldorm and then like go back in, and he'll have figured out the key situation by then. If the Hera small key is not needed for an item, then he knows that he doesn't have to unlock Swamp from Mire, which is, you know, definitely what most people would prefer. But obviously getting the pendant will warp him to the front of Hera, so he won't be able to get his Mire state back without like going back over here, so there are quite a few routing options that he could decide to do. And we get that early big key, so it looks like we have a God Mire, but we're not in go mode, which is typical.
Actually, I think it's even better that it's there, because if you do want to go straight to Tower of Hera and start unlocking doors, you can do just that. And there's the mirror.
Mirror is an interesting find because it's great for routing, but illogically it really only means Mimic Cave at this point.
Okay, Maniacal getting yet another crystal, but there's like nothing in the dungeon at all.
It could mean Pyramid Fairy as well without the 5-6 crystals. It could be pointing to that as well, to be fair, but I don't know, Mirror is just such a good item that has very little logical value in this mode after the Moon Pearl is found, so it's interesting.
He's gotta be careful about his health.
Yeah, those fireballs and fire snakes do 1 heart regardless of his red mail, and the bomb slugs will do 1 heart. Don't remember how much damage the tiles do on red mail.
The most dangerous part about this dungeon and swamp is the traps more than the enemies.
Yeah, I dabbled in the all bosses speedrun, and you have to come here with 4 hearts green mail to get Samaria, and yeah, Mire's a really dangerous place.
I put in that powder to good use. Doesn't want to die having to do bomb clips at all.
Yeah. Yeah, powder is a really good find, because to my knowledge, TwoC usually does the bomb clip in Hera, not the dash citrus, so that being the case, may not know how to do the clip without bombing himself. Although on red mail is only a 1/4 heart of damage, for those that are not aware.
Alright, open it
Even
up.
though that...
I'm excited to see if he just goes drop down or if he just goes.
Yeah, he might do another lap just to see if the item's there or not.
Yeah, clear the rest of the front, the right side. Nope, he's just going.
Yeah, that is a little different to set up when you push the blocks. Gotta get on grid there, but it gets the bomb clip nicely. So, meanwhile, Maniacal has found the sword, but did not get the bombos yet. Is about to get that after he clips out of higher area.
I don't think TwoC found any item in Mire.
Oh, he found the mirror.
Oh yeah, the mirror, he found one.
Also, this is interesting. Usually, well, I don't know. It's hard to say what's best in this situation. Oh, he's unlocking the basement. That's smart. So then, either way, the Hera keys. Well, if he picks up the Hera key, though, then
he
it's
can
going
use
to
the
be a
Hera
Mire
key
key
for swamp. Yeah, that's why he's not picking up any chests.
Yeah, that
open the
makes
doors.
sense. But will he do the boss though and get the pendant from
Oh,
Mire?
he has the mirror. He's gonna go back to swamp or Mire. Yeah, he just wanted to use that to unlock it. The mirror was just convenient for him.
Well, this does bring up an interesting scenario that is unlikely but could be bad for TwoC, as in bad as in wasting time. Well, see, since he doesn't have the Hera big key, if the big key is in the basement and there's an item in the big chest, that is a really big time loss, but like I said, that's pretty unlikely. It's kind of more likely the big key's on Moldor more in the big chest, or the other upstairs chest that he left behind, but it is something to think about when you're doing these seeds. There's so many different ways you can decide to route.
Maniacal's making his way to Mire now. Probably thinking the same thing, unlock Tower of Hera.
To answer a question, chat, we do not believe that 2C got both items in Mire. I only saw the mirror. I didn't see any other items. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that was all. Well, Maniacal looks like following suit, going into Mire as well.
Yeah, I think opening up the basement door is more like just in case the small key is down in the basement. Then you can just do the tile room to get the small key for Swamp.
Yeah, I don't know if that really saves time, but it's just picking an option and going with it is usually best. As if you waste time trying to decide, that, you know, could eat any advantage you get.
Okay, he's gonna learn.
Yep.
Okay, we did find both items out of hair now, so we're just searching for the small key. Small key in the crystal.
Michael having a little bit of trouble with this Mire 2 room.
Yeah, kind of just missed a couple cane shots on the Wizrobes. Just a small mistiming.
Yeah, if you don't catch the first cycle right, that room can go off the rails for sure.
Like, I'm a big fan of just running straight at the middle and using your medallion.
I mean, it's an option.
If you don't have the fire rod, you just gotta use what you get.
Oh, I missed it. What was on Moldorm?
Moldorm was the small key.
Oh, I see it on the HUD. Yeah, as soon as I asked it, I realized it. Alright, well that is the best case scenario, assuming you said they got both items out of here. I saw the bottle. I did not see the other one.
First one was a full heart in the lobby.
Oh, right. That was much earlier. The Maniacal picking up his mirror from Mire. Get a DMD from 2C. Check out the Village of Outcasts or Skullwoods area, maybe?
Yeah, gotta go back down there and get the get his Thieves Town crystal.
And just a piece of heart on the ledge.
And then with a mirror too, you can like loop that in with hammer pegs and the powder.
Yeah, definitely can full clear this area. I mean, maybe not Skullwoods, but the town area, definitely. So there is some cool 100% Link to the Past tech you can do to DMD to the bumper ledge. I've taken to doing that since I've seen Checks do it a lot. It's a fun one. But nothing wrong with just checking it like normally, visually.
Alright, Maniacal gonna give us some extra checks here. That's the second item! We found both items in Mire now.
Alright, well, at least it was nothing for 2C. I don't know if how familiar our viewers are with 2C, but I've watched his stream a lot. He's not only a very good runner, but he tends to know which items to skip and which to not skip. He was like #1 on the ladder. I forgot which season, but it was like somewhat recently.
Yeah, a couple years ago when we were playing in the league, we're on different teams and all, but we just practice together a lot. And we would just joke around and like, alright, let's be aggressive, and we would do a lot of very aggressive checks to try and see how that works out, and he just kind of kept that style of being aggressive and doing some like calculated risks.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that 2C signed up for this mentor tournament, because 2C plays like all the modes on the ladder, like not just 1 or 2, like a lot of people.
Hey, he's the reason why I signed up to be a mentor in the first place. I would have never heard about this besides maybe seeing it on Melmo's stream. And so I signed up to be a mentor, and I enjoyed everyone that's asked me to mentor them, all the knowledge I can give out, help out, then finding that little hammer dash to the hammer pegs.
Yeah, that's a really neat one, because the hammer pegs is like one of the worst checks in overworld glitches in HMG logic. Like, but that makes it a little less bad, definitely, because you don't have to do the swim to get there. It still can be a hassle to get out, depending on your loadout, but that definitely good job on finding that. I've never seen anyone do that before. Malmo told me that you discovered it.
Maniacal opening up chests and did find the Tower of Hera big key in the big chest itself, so... yeah, there's no way they could have got that. Naturally.
Well, and also, interestingly, so Swamp being a crystal, we know we're going to see the hook shot at some point this seed. So I wonder if either of the runners are going to think, oh man, I wasted all this time unlocking Hera when I, you know, could have just came back later. I mean,
Yeah.
but obviously they both did the same thing, but they don't know that.
Alright, I know I said I don't want to troll the runners at all, but I actually kind of want to see Hookshot in Swan Palace now. Like, just the one bad placement, please. Yeah, before that we gotta find the flippers, or just flippers and Hookshot and a sword away from go mode.
So I'm curious what Maniacal's doing. He could be going to Moldorm or to Swamp from here. Or mirroring back to Meyer, but it looks like we're going to Swamp. Just to get it out of the way. Which, I don't think TwoC did this, unless I missed it.
No, he did not. Maniacal just choosing to do this. Unlock the door in Swamp and get it all done at once. TwoC finishing up his 5th crystal.
Yeah, 5 crystals, 52 minutes. Definitely a very strong pace here. Maniacal not too far behind himself, though.
And taking this key with them, I guess. Yeah. No, yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I've been talking up TwoC a lot, but Maniacal is no slouch himself. It had a strong performance at SGL recently and has been in numerous tournaments in the past. So please, if you're enjoying the show, please follow these runners. They're putting on a great show. And also, if you are not already, please follow Super Malmo World.
Alright, 2C setting up to do the mirror clip. I don't think he has super speed. Oh, there he does.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying to do that without the hook shot, if you ask me. But yeah, this is the setup for the mirror wrap. The classic all dungeons tech. Gets it first try, very nice. Or at least that part of it. I shouldn't jinx it, but
Yeah, so he can
completely gets it first try.
he can beat this dungeon, but it's not in logic.
Why is it not in logic? Oh, because he doesn't have the flippers or the mitts?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, it's just, sorry, it just took me a second there. You are correct. Yeah, mirror is not logical access to ice, because mirror wraps, well allowed, are not in logic. So, he skipped the Pengator room, right?
He did. Yeah, he did. And it's not punished by it at all. Like, he found the big key right there, so that's probably be the only really big punishing thing.
Yeah, it worked out for him this time. He can always go back in if it's an item and he wants to. So that is one of those things that is kind of you know, at your discretion if you want to skip that. Like, if it's right or wrong or not will entirely depend on the layout in the dungeon. A checkerboard from Maniacal. Did we see this before?
Yeah, 2C mirrored right in front of it to do it.
Oh. Alright, well, either way, it's nothing.
Yeah, he's coming back, finishing up this area.
Malmo and chat, Pen Gator Skip never hurt anyone. I don't think that's true, but, I mean, like I said, at your own discretion. Skip the Pen Gator room.
Nice little shovel, another little fetch quest.
So Mike in chat pointing out that we are not logically hook locked here.
Alright, that's good to know. I don't pay attention to Ice Palace key logic.
Yeah, I think if it's 1 or 2, I don't know. But I know if a certain amount of keys on the right side means that it's hook locked logically. Obviously, there are ways around that, various ways, but. Anyways, this cold stare fight, you know, I don't think 2C is going to have any issues, but I would say it's not a fun fight, though, with this loadout.
Yep, just a hammer. I don't know if he has any more. Oh, he does have a fairy in a bottle, so he can play really aggressively if he chooses to, and he's not. They're not going in a way that's really aggressive towards him.
Oh, that was really well done. Well, I mean, they weren't aggressive because he controlled the fight. He was very quick and efficient with those hits. Like, there was a point when I was good at doing the hammer cold stare fight, but not having to do it for a while, it kind of slipped away from me. But that was a very impressive fight. Alright, so Muldarm on Maniacal's side. We know this is the small key to Hera, which is irrelevant for Maniacal at this point because he already unlocked Swamp, but it will be a crystal. It's gonna bring it to 5 to 6. And 2C slightly ahead here. Looks like we're getting a GT play.
No, he's setting up for the pyramid.
Oh.
He has the mirror.
Yeah.
And
oh, that too, yeah.
so you do pyramid to Hyrule Castle.
Well, he's following the old advice that people used to say, or, well, they still do, but I remember from watching the previous HMG VODs that, you know, at the hour you gotta check Uncle. It's in the handbook. I don't know, it's hard to tell where people are going if they leave the camera broken like that. I don't know. I would have assumed the density of GT with the hammer. I don't know. But I was wrong. Nothing wrong with this play at all. And Maniacal, unfortunately, doing the basement.
Oh, I wasn't counting the items because I think that's just a compass in here. Or the map, one of the two.
Yeah, I missed the first item in here. I know they got a bottle out of here, but I believe you that they found both items already. Or maybe... I don't know. Well, he doesn't have the compass, so... Well, actually, I don't know if he does or not. I'm used to the displaying on the HUD if there's, like, an item counter or whatever. But sometimes... if it, like, doesn't count an item because you, like, looked at it and skipped it like that, but that was not the case here. So, that's an unfortunate time loss for Maniacal.
Yeah, so Mike was saying in chat that I don't really like GT as well because, like, the right side is, like, fire rod locked and the left side is mostly hook locked. Like, you can get around by bonking, but... You know, they understand key logic way better than I do. From playing, like, cross keys and key sanity mode so much. Maniacal's gonna be doing it.
Well, that's a very valid point, but I've seen the hookshot and hope room many, many times before, though, so you never know. Not this time, but... I mean, it
Yeah,
doesn't take that long to check the front of GT,
yeah.
and your
If he
opponent's
really
most likely
wants
going
it
to do this
too,
anyway.
like he could just use the fire, the lamp to check the right side too. So this is
I
full
would
clearable.
I would not necessarily recommend that, but I mean, you could do it though. It's a valid play if you want to do it.
Just one and done the whole dungeon.
I mean, even if you get it first try, it's not quick to do the right side with lamp. But I was just saying that checking the front of GT, or maybe the left side, is not going to take that long, and your opponent is probably going to have to do it anyway.
Yeah, it does look like he's staying in
But,
logic, just mirrored out after the tile room. There's silvers.
I mean, there are pros and cons to both, so I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. It just depends where the rest of the items are in the seed.
It looked like TwoC is in the think tank for a second there, might be deciding his next play or trying to think of what's in Dark Cross, which is just a small key.
Alright, looks like we're getting hammer pegs, maybe? I don't know if this works the way he's trying to do it. I don't do it this way.
Yeah, you can use
If
the
you have
spin
the hook
speed
shot,
here.
it works. I mean, if you have the hook shot, I know you can do super speed with this, or you could just, like, clip straight through the middle.
I think what the problem that he's having is that he's destroying the bush, which I use the bush to line up and just slide off of that.
Oh, does it give you the correct Y pixel with the
Yeah,
bush?
yeah.
Okay. Well, see, I actually didn't know that, but, oh well, it gives up on it. Sometimes it's good to just do something else. Maybe you don't want to waste too much time on something. That may or may not haunt him, but too soon to tell. So Maniacal found the flippers, by the way.
Wow. That doesn't do. That puts Swamp in logic. And more
To
access to
answer a
Swamp.
well, I don't think the flippers were in logic unless they were in the map chest.
Alright, that wasn't. I wasn't paying attention to what chest it was in.
But there was a question in chat about the hookless climb. I don't know the GT climb logic for non-entrants. So Fire Rod and Spike Cave, that's interesting. But I know in cross keys, the big key alone will put the first two chests in the mini Helma room in logic if you have like bow and fire. I honestly couldn't tell you for this specific situation. Yeah, cross keys is different. I'm not surprised about that. Maniacal's climbing. This is something that has to be done anyway, so...
Yeah, he's proved that he's good at hovering, so this is not gonna cost him any time or too much time to do it. If anything, that's gonna make it take a bit longer is only having the fighter sword.
Well, see, the problem with... Well, I don't know if I'd say it's a problem or not. Hookshot, I don't think it's going to be up here, and it's certainly not going to be in the Moldorm chest. Which, it's looking like that's going to be his go mode, because he found the flippers. The Fire Rod, we don't know if we need it or not, but that's in Spike Cave. But, so TwoC can show us the right side, though, so that's going to be information we didn't get yet.
Oh, where did he find that fire rod? Was that also in Escape?
Oh, it was in Spike Cave.
Spike Cave along the way, okay.
Yeah, that's a very good way to get it out of the way. Just check it on the way to GT, because if you don't do it then... Like, when are you gonna do it, honestly? Probably never. Or until last location.
Wow. Taking that Spike Cave along the way could be huge.
Yeah, I think for experienced runners in this mode, it's a pretty common play to do that, but I mean, the mentees, I mean, are, forming their own habits with routing, so hard to say. We're getting some, like, nuclear strats from Maniacal. It's just nuking everything in the gauntlet.
Yeah, that half
Doesn't
magic, like
want
you
to
said, is
mess with
just
a...
so nice.
I mean, it's not... Maybe not the fastest. I mean, I would do it if the room goes wrong, because you only have Fighter Sword. If you're not confident in your bow shots, it could take a while, but... I don't know. It's an option.
You're going full right too, all the way to Ice Armos.
It makes sense for him, because this is the logical path from his point of view. As we don't know if the hook shot is just available somewhere that they skipped.
Yeah, this is just turning into a hookshot hunt.
Well, TwoC has quite an advantage in that Ice Palace is already done, but Maniacal may go mode Ice, and that is a little bit of a time save, and has the advantage that he already unlocked Swamp. I wonder if they're even gonna check, since they have the mirror, they could check if the small key is vanilla. It's unlikely, but the first chest could be the hook shot, for all we know.
Maniacal did check that one chest in Swamp Palace, and it was just the map.
Oh, he did while he was there. Oh, sorry, my mistake.
Yeah, that was the only chest he opened up on his way out.
So
Just to
you're
see.
saying he did like the front one, but not like the bomb wall
Yep.
chest? Is that what you're saying? Okay, interesting. Alright, well that's good information for Maniacal at least. Okay, so the big key was in the map room, and the flippers were in Dark Magician's room. Okay. Or, I don't know, they might have been behind Ice Armos, actually. I lost track. But either way, they both have the flippers now.
Yeah, I think it was a Stealthwo's room or something. Just gonna saw him have it before going to the right side.
Also, hookshot is not upstairs. I don't think that surprises anyone. Maniacal hovering the gap. First try.
Yeah, then he can like use this to check the like pyramid Harrow Castle area.
Yeah, that is an efficient way to do it. Take advantage of the warps that the game gives you, so you don't have to do overworld travel. Definitely. It could be a good call here. I mean, unfortunately, we know he's not gonna find anything. I mean, silvers are a quality of life item, but not really what he's looking for right now.
Alright, TwoC not gonna chance it and go up the tower at all. I respect it. Just wait till you get hook and just go straight up. I'm thinking this is gonna be maybe like a Turtle Rock into like map wrap swamp or Skull Woods possibly.
Well, see, the interesting thing about that big key location in GT is that it's not hook locked logically, but it might be key locked, which might technically make it hook locked. It's a kind of a bit of a gray area that someone who's not me would be able to answer.
Oh, he's gambling this. Gambling that hookshot is just here in Swamp.
It kind of makes sense. I mean, you're gonna come here eventually anyway, if you don't find it. I mean, we still have a lot of items in Turtle Rock that are available. I mean, Trinix, yeah, it's full clearable for 2C, actually. Not for Maniacal, though. And there's also Mimic Cave, Catfish we've not seen.
Oh yeah,
And I
the
don't think we
flippers are
saw Hammer
hookshot
Pegs
locked.
either.
No, we did not see hammer pegs. Yeah, we still have like Hookshot Cave, we have Turtle Rock, Catfish. Another one did hammer pegs or the magic bat, yeah.
And did we see... We didn't see the first chest in Hookshot Cave, right?
No, we didn't. Neither player went up to the Dark Death Mountain area.
So we didn't see Super Bunny either then, right?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I wasn't sure. I've been watching so much ALTTP, sometimes I just get confused, like Seed Bleed or whatever.
Yeah, I just thought that, like, I was just thinking to myself, like, that is kind of interesting that, like, Maniacal didn't want to, like, push his hovering advantage and go there right away.
I want to talk about something really quick with this bomb clip here that TwoC's doing. Like, there are ways to adjust it and make it work no matter what, but... And he gets it, so that was good. He knew how to adjust it, but there's a way that you can make it consistent and always only have to sword buffer up twice. Is if when you pick up the pot and do a 1-frame sword buffer or select buffer to the right and then dash left, that will always put you on the same pixel to just buffer up twice. But the way he did it, you possibly could land in a different position and have to adjust like diagonally. I just wanted to put that out there for bomb clippers because I used to main that strat, and I don't anymore because it uses health and bombs. So I just switched over to the dash citrus. But if you like the bomb clip, that's a little tip for you.
Yeah, for that bomb clip, as you said, like, it's inconsistent sometimes. Sometimes you're like 1 too far pixels to the left or something after the bomb explodes, and you have to move the right 1 pixel. I use a visual cue, and that's what I taught TwoC, was there's a visual cue with the pixels on the wall to know if you're at the right spot or not.
Yeah, if you know how to adjust it, you can definitely make it work from any position. Yeah, I was just saying, if you do the 1 frame right before you dash left, it will be consistent every time, because I used to do this in the vanilla speedrun, but I eventually switched to the dash citrus, because if you mess up a room and you only have 1 heart, you can't bomb clip anymore, because you only have 1 heart. So I just switched to doing the other way. Master Sword and Swamp, very interesting. So, Maniacal getting silvers in Zelda Cell, which is, well, it's not super helpful. Better than nothing, I guess.
And now, Maniacal, where's he going? Doesn't have Titans Mitts for this. Does he have Titans Mitts? No.
I didn't think so, no.
That was a Rage Slash.
Yeah, a little bit of, maybe just a little bit of autopilot there. It's unfortunate. I mean, it happens.
Yeah, like, I think he is gonna go to Hookshot Cave now. Hookshot Cave, maybe did a catfish.
Yeah, Structural Mike is bringing up a point in chat. I actually missed the exact location. If the flippers were in Dark Magician's room, it was behind the hookshot, but if they were behind Ice Armos, then it was logical for him, so...
Yeah, I think they were in Stelfa's room. Just because I don't remember seeing the Maniacal go all the way to Ice Armos. I think he just left after ran over him.
If that is the case, then, I mean, that's good for Maniacal and unfortunate for TwoC. It's good for the race, because Maniacal is a little bit behind here. But still gaining intel on the seed, though. Some checks we've not seen yet. It's kind of looking like it's going to be in Turtle Rock if Maniacal doesn't find it just here in this check in Hookshot Cave. But we've not seen Skull Woods at all either.
You know, that's also a very good point. You don't even need to do the rest of the chests. You're right. They could just have a sword. And he found the sword.
Yeah, not wasting time hovering the rest. I'm glad. I mean, I'm sure he could do it as quick as he can, but hovering is slow compared to just using the hook shot in that room. So we're getting a bit of a TR dip from Maniacal, which is unfortunate because we know the Fire Rod is in Spike Cave and it's locking 3 checks. But logically, maybe more, depending on the key layout, actually.
Alright, TwoC found the book. He's gonna go check Bombo's tablet real fast. Maybe it's like clip up and do check the shovel from Ice Palace.
Oh, we've not... Wait, sorry, what are you talking about? A shovel? I'm confused.
TwoC has a shovel that he found in Ice Palace big chest.
Oh, he just didn't mark it on his tracker. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright, well, if you...
oh, that could be huge.
Well,
Not marking that.
Well... If Flippers is logical Ice Palace access, then it can't be the hook shot.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
If what we're assuming is correct about Flippers being in the Dark Magician's room, I know it was somewhere in GT for sure, because Maniacal found it first before TwoC.
But like, Ice Palace could be also just be
nothing.
Titansmith's locked.
It could be, yes. We don't know.
And so that could still be the hook shot on the shovel.
It's possible. It's really hard to know sometimes in these seeds. I think we're getting TR from 2C, or at least Super Bunny Cave into Hookshot Cave. So there's a really cool route you can do here when you get in the Dark World, is you can clip down and check Catfish, and then swim clip back to the mountain. And like, so it kind of un-isolates that check. Since they already did Zora, like the way you would normally combo that doesn't work.
Yeah, that's right, it does loop back down to the mountain.
Yeah, just on the same screen as Catfish, you use the diagonal slope and just go straight to the west, and it goes to the bottom Super Bunny Cave area.
Yeah, so I think 2C is going to do what I was saying and try and just do Troll Rock and then map wrap into Skull Woods, just clear it all at once. Possibly.
Yeah, skipping these overworld checks is interesting. I mean, we know that, well, we've not seen Catfish, but we know the other ones aren't hookshot, though.
Like, I think if they're going here, I'd rather see some kind of wrap, the mirror wrap, just because, like, all the items are usually straight in the back.
And sometimes not. You could get small key, map, compass, like, or something like that. You never know. But it's possible, yeah, what you're saying. But I think what their approach right now is that they're trying to stay in logic. Because I've seen both of these runners do the mirror wrap before. And it's going to depend on the seed, whether or not staying in logic is going to serve them well or not. And this is unfortunate for 2C. I don't think he's going to be able to make it to the door. Yeah, he's doing another lap.
Yeah, it is possible to go this way, but you have to know the correct order.
Yeah, that was one of those oops, forgot that hookshot is the go mode here. I think we've all done it before.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. So we got Big Key in the front of Turtle Rock.
Alright, I think he's gonna go through the middle now instead of going through the back. You can check like Mimic Cave along the way.
Well, Maniacal is setting up a mirror wrap right now. Okay, gets it. Nicely done. So this is kind of interesting, and depending on what happens, the Maniacal could get a little bit of time back if 2C kills Trinex, and that doesn't lead to anything. And not a lot of time, because he has Tempered Sword now, but it's some amount of time.
Oh yeah, that makes a difference too, having that tempered sword.
But since we know
Like,
that the big key is Fire Rod locked, Maniacal is not gonna be able to know that there's 50 rupees in the big chest.
yeah, now I'm kind of curious if Maniacal's gonna get that tempered sword from there. Since he's probably just gonna be go moding swamp, he's probably not even gonna check that bomb wall.
Maybe. It's not, I don't know, it's kind of a slow check, but there are worse checks in the game. I don't know. Although has the silvers though, because even though Master Sword Phase 1 and 2 is not quick, it's still quicker than Phase 4 without silvers, so if it does come down to the Ganon fight, at least there's that. Oh, Skullwood's play from Maniacal. We've not seen any of this yet. So we have no idea what the layout is for the items. Oh, the hookshot was free in Skullwoods. Oh, that's a huge advantage. Maniacal right now, huge advantage. Because 2C
Yeah,
is
that's
wasting time on these Fire Rod locked checks in TR. Oh
oh
no.
man. It's just one of those things where it's like, all right, Skullwoods has a item, possibly, maybe, 0 to 2 items you can find without the fire rod.
Okay, so Maniacal has 5 crystals, can quickly go mode swamp, is not gonna do left side or anything like that. Ice Palace go mode is definitely a little bit faster than not. And already climbed GT as well, so I have to say advantage Maniacal right now.
Yeah. 2C has to climb all of GT, has to find the hook shot. I think what's causing me is, yeah, finding those flippers in a hook locked location and not remembering.
And you know, this what just happened to 2C has happened to me in a cross keys race before. It was just a casual like pickup race. I found it in Logic Fire Rod that everyone else in the race skipped, so I cleared a barren Ice Palace where everyone else just found Bombos later and go moded Ice Palace. So you never know with these seeds how things are gonna turn out. Cause yeah, it seems like Maniacal either skipped Spike Cave or just forgot it existed because he's never gonna see that fire rod.
At least the fight's gonna be nice and quick. Like I said, if he does ramp into Skull Woods, he's gonna be right there, but he'll probably be the boss first, mirror, check pedestal, and then like continue on.
Yeah, so the GT climb, if you're like a very, very strong like vanilla runner, is still gonna take you like 4 minutes, a little more maybe.
And he might
And
get
2C
sidetracked here
is,
too with the green pendant.
yeah, I don't know exactly how long it takes, and 2C is a very strong player, but it's still gonna take like 4 minutes at least. And I can tell you a Go Mode Ice Palace does not take 4 minutes. Especially not in HMG when you can clip through the wall.
There's another fetch quest. Yep, sidetracked with the green pendant.
Ether.
Well,
Thanks,
absolute nothing.
clogging our quick swap even more. Thanks, old man.
Give us a little challenge coin.
Alright, so 2C's about to get the hook shot, I think.
Yeah, unless he goes down and does like Smith Chain.
You know, I don't blame these runners for not wanting to go to Skullwoods. And Skullwoods is a bad dungeon, and it's even worse if you're not playing Key Sanity. There's only 2 items. It's basically like Left Side Swamp all over again.
Yeah, this is a last location kind of hook shot.
So imparting some wisdom from our gracious restreamer Malmo. So this was definitely a Skullwoods one and done. Perfect layout. Yeah, that was nicely executed by Maniacal. Of the mirror wrap. It decides to not clip through the wall. I mean, you're not confident in it. It's fine to just go.
Another fetch quest. Just fetch quest chains.
Yeah, 2C is kind of getting randoed here. I mean, Skullwoods is a legitimate skip. It just didn't work out this time.
Oh, that's right. I was like, why did Maniacal go and hit the switch? Wouldn't it just be easier to not? No,
Because he doesn't know he's about to get the big key in this chest.
He didn't do
That's
the
why.
bomb. He didn't do the bomb clip. That's why. Because he just went straight through it, not clip through it.
Yeah. If you do the dash citrus fast, it's like pretty much the same as doing the bomb clip. But yeah, I definitely am a huge fan of just skipping those few rooms in Ice Palace, because you skip killing the Freezor, you skip the berry key, the long stair transition, and then like the plus room. So yeah, it's a decent chunk of time. Maniacal checking stuff on the way, but is not gonna find anything, unfortunately for him. The Maniacal, half magic, and cape, that's like just as good as having the fire rod almost, at least in terms of safety. It might be a little bit slower.
Well, TwoC coming back to find the second item here. Maybe get the pendant. Maybe not get the pendant. Yeah, the second item being in the cutscene room too.
Yeah, I went back and confirmed in the runner's VODs because I always wanted to make sure. I was really curious. The flippers were definitely in the Dark Magician's room, and so that is a little bit of unfortunate decision making for 2C, not realizing that the flippers were hookshot locked. And I'm not like trying to shame him or anything. Like, it's an easy mistake to make, but I was just curious about the seed.
Yeah, there's so much to think about too with this mode, with logics being different than non-glitch modes.
Well, in any mode, like, I mean, we're watching. It's easy for us to just sit and be like, oh, well, you should have done that. But when you're in the middle of a race, like,
Yeah, you're
you're
thinking about
thinking
like,
about a
oh,
million things. You're
where
trying
to
to
go
execute as well.
next. Yeah, there's just so much going on. Yeah, then I don't know if he's like gambling at the second items on the boss or if he does just want the pendant, but
Yeah, he might be playing for Ped right now, since he goes to Mothula after this. He's right next to the pedestal. It could definitely be a Ped play. And not often that we see NMG Spooky in a glitched mode, but nicely done.
do love to see that. I
And
don't know the other
Maniacal
spooky
into the
way.
Ganon fight. Oh, I only know the other way. I don't know how to use the flute for it. I just never learned it. I only know the AD RMG.
Yeah, not getting the second, the I guess third sword you can say out of Swan Palace. He's gonna have to do Master Sword spins. He's getting a lot of good doubles. You
Yeah,
have
with
to
red
Trident.
mail and with red mail and cape and half magic and whatever's in his bottles, like this is a lot comfier than it could be. That's for sure.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have anything in his bottles that is useful. He has a fairy and a bee.
A fairy is useful. He can tank some hits. Playing it safe there with the cape, because it doesn't need that much magic for phase 4, having the silver arrows. Probably, honestly, still feels behind after doing Hera Basement for a map. But we are on to phase 3 now, so the hard part is through at least.
Which is final phase.
Well, I will say this, you're more likely to fall on Ganon if you're doing arrow strats, but I don't think we're gonna see that here, though.
Nice double. Single. Take out the lamp.
Alright, well that is the kill. GG to Maniacal. Gonna take
Very
this
clean
one.
Ganon fight.
Yeah, it was smooth.
GG's
Maniacal gonna
Maniacal.
take this one. The official time of 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 32 seconds. Yeah, Maniacal made some good skips, and it worked out. Well, also, a little fortunate that he didn't find the fire rod, but nonetheless. And so 2C has forfeited. Understandably, probably pretty frustrated with the seed.
And Maniacal moves on. Gonna go against Gamachu, I believe. I think Gamachu won his brackets games.
Oh, that will be another good one to see. Fungus for arrows. We are joined by Maniacal. GG, Maniacal.
Hey, thanks. GG to 2C. It sounds like we both were on a scavenger hunt for the hookshot.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a gross one.
Yeah, so 2C found the fire rod in Spike Cave, and it led him to do. He full cleared Turtle Rock,
Yeah.
which didn't lead to anything.
I mean, I
And
basically
also
full
did
cleared
right
Turtle
side-
Rock.
Well, I mean, the big key was fire rod locked, so you were missing a little bit of information there. But yeah,
Yeah.
you did what you could there, definitely.
Yeah, I continued the laser bridge all the way up through Crystal Roller, just because there was no reason that the hookshot wasn't behind fire rod. So, like, there's no reason that, like, I couldn't have to clear out most of Turtle Rock. But yeah, the big key being behind it was fortunate. I missed doing Trinex, Green Pendant, and then also the right side chests.
Yeah, right side GT was nothing. Although 2C did get a sword and swamp in the second check that you missed. Not that you ended up needing it or anything, but
The one behind the wall.
Yeah.
Oh my
yes.
god, that one was just like searing pain into my consciousness. Basically, as soon as I jumped off the stairwell and was like, well, that can't be flippers. That's not allowed to be flippers anymore. That was kind of how our second race went. Was I got sort of maximally punished by one location, and in the first race, 2C was really late to the Moon Pearl, and so like our races have just swung on kind of silly items. But I think that's kind of this mode because the spears are so broad.
Yeah.
It definitely can happen. I mean, but didn't 2C win the race where he was late to the Moon Pearl? Or am I mixed up?
That's the one that I won, and then he crushed me in the second one because he did CAC delay and was on the mountain and got a bottle before his first CAC trip and got his hammer on Sick Kid. And
right.
I had a good opportunity to check Sick Kid when I did Thieves Town and had found Mirror over there, and I just isolated it, just completely failing, and just like accidentally skipped it, kind of like the swamp check. And I just said, okay, well, Sick Kid's not allowed to be hammer or something leading to hammer. And then, 50 minutes later, I went and got my hammer from Sick Kid. So it was one of those that was kind of anticlimactic.
It happens, though. It's rando. But interestingly about this race, it was pretty close for most of the way. 2C maybe pulled a little bit ahead in the bid game. But, and you both were, like, in Mire almost at the same time, unlocking Hera. But 2C didn't follow through to unlock Swamp. Went and did some other things, so there was some divergence. And he made an unfortunate decision of looking for the hookshot in Swamp, which logically couldn't have been there in this seed.
Logically couldn't have been there. Let's see. Oh yeah, because the flippers, yeah. Yep. Yeah, so I was not looking behind the flippers. I that's why I was delaying ice for so long. For a while I was like, do I just go do ice? Like I even fluted over there and then forgot I needed to either mirror or flippers wrap, and was going to do ice at that point just to burn time and say, okay, well, Master Sword can be anywhere, but Hookshot can't.
Yeah, the 2C did ice pretty early, and it was out of logic not having mitts or flippers.
Yeah. Book plus flippers showing up in GT behind Hookshot was really something. And I felt like I should at least continue through to Rando Room just because I still needed a second sword. But without Fire Rod, I didn't want to push deeper, so I don't know. It was kind of iffy because there's still 3 swords out there, and I need to find one of them. But I felt like leaving GT after Rando Room before going through to Ice Armos and Big Chest made some sense.
Yeah, get the climb out of the way because you had the big key.
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
I have to climb at some point, and sword could be there. Hookshot, because the small key behind, I don't believe could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I want to think probably not.
Yeah, I think it was locked out, but like, I know in like a normal mode or like entrance or something, that logically, like the mini Helmasaur room should be able to have hookshot there because the big key was accessible. But then, like, I think it's like out of logic for no good reason. So like you can't spike it there on the climb if you don't have at least 3 small keys, I think.
Well, the big key being behind or being in the map chest, I think is behind all of the GT smalls, or at least most of them. I'm not sure about this versus entrance.
Yeah, it should be 4 small key locked. And 1 small key was in the Stalfos room behind the hookshot. So yeah, the big key was hook locked.
Yeah, the GT routing, especially in a mode like this, is very like at your discretion. Because people in chat were like, "Is he gonna bomb jump right side?" And I was like, "I don't recommend that, but it's a play you could make."
Yeah.
So
it's slow and it's kind of gross. And if hookshot was over there, like, and fire rod was just buried somewhere, then I was okay getting burned by that. But I wouldn't have bomb jumped because I think I had the cape at that point. So cape and half magic, 100% of the time I'm just going to hover over to light the torch because I hate that bomb jump.
Well, that's fair. I mean, either way, it's still a bit of a time.
It's still slow. I just don't like the bomb jump.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't even think about that because I don't hover, but yeah, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, half magic and cape, you just throw it on and tap A bunch and go over there, light the torch.
Good tips to our hoverers here.
It was a wild seed. Having early, like, first 2 chests, bombs and hammer open to head up mountain early was really something.
Yeah, like the first 20 minutes, you and TwoC just did everything each other did. But not in the same order exactly, but
yeah,
like, the 20-minute mark, it was a complete wash.
Okay, I think he likes to Link's House start and hit Sash early, if I remember right.
Yeah, he did that.
Okay.
But you guys like did Pod and Eastern like at the same time, but like reversed. So like he did, whoever did whatever first, and then you two switched.
Okay.
So it was pretty even for the early game.
So he got the bow on the mountain pretty early as well, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, this one, I don't know. Shout outs to the fairies giving out green potions. That was really convenient. Saved. Well, it didn't save me. It allowed me to execute differently than I would have otherwise had to a couple times. Because like if I don't have the green potions, then I just play it a little differently, a little more conservatively. But it definitely worked out. So that was fortunate. There weren't too many other little things that I liked about this one. Hookshot just being in front of Skull was like, well, you could have gone there basically at any time. And if TwoC went there early, I'm dead. And if he didn't, then maybe I'm live. But again, that's just kind of the way of this mode being very high variance, I think.
Yeah, and I was saying Skullwoods is a legitimate skip. I mean, especially because it's only 2 items, so yeah, I mean, you just never know.
It's 2 items. It's a pendant. Like, I didn't have fire rod, and so like Moth is the highest value location in there because of the small key logic. So the odds of getting both items, it's basically like bad overworld that might not even give you an item.
Yep.
And so I'm not real keen on it, but I was really starting to run out of stuff to do there at the end. I had Spike Cave, out of logic stuff in GT, out of logic Ice Palace. Catfish Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb was looking like some of the spicier stuff available, unfortunately. And then Hammer Pegs and Bat, and I think that was it.
Well, apparently Catfish was the mitts, so it was just another red herring.
Oh, God. Catfish with the mitts. Yeah, then... Yeah. if I do Smith Chain there, yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, it's gonna take you where you don't need to be. That's unfortunate. Did 2C go there early?
Not early, but
Okay.
I don't know. 2C just never went to Skull Woods. Did almost everything in the game, but not Skull Woods.
Yeah. That sucks, but hopefully it was at least an entertaining one to watch. Yeah.
It was really interesting. Like I said, it was pretty even in the early game. 2C pulled ahead a little bit in the mid game with like the crystal count, but then you pulled it back at the end.
Yeah.
Because you had GT done and he did not have the climb done for. I guess he just put it off because he was looking for the hook shot. So you definitely pulled ahead in like the mid to late game.
Yeah, you have to count Agatu as a crystal in this when you're counting bosses for where races are, because like you have to do it. So it's basically just an 8th crystal.
Yeah,
but if I was up Agatu and then down 2, then yeah, I'd say that's a pure crystal lead. But I mean, you got to climb at some point, so may as well just get it out of the way. Was kind of what I was thinking.
I don't remember exactly how it timed out, but you were both in GT at about the same time, and he had a crystal up on you, but you decided to climb. So like you started to take it back at that point. I think maybe you could look at it that way. And then 2C went to Swamp, which was all like dead time. So I don't know. It was an interesting watch, I would say.
Yeah, well,
maybe a little anticlimactic with the Skullwoods hook shot, but I mean, they won it for you though.
Yeah, that's how these go. At least it's like, as long as it's a good race until one person finds go mode, I'd say that's a good race in this category for sure. Like that's kind of how I felt about SMZ3, which I raced for quite a long time. Did a lot of those, and yeah, you might finish 20 minutes ahead of the other person, but as long as it's like a good race for the first 2 hours, then it was a good race, even if the last half hour is kind of meh.
It was a good race.
All right. Well,
I definitely think so.
Glad to hear it. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed it, and I really appreciate Malmo, Don Venier, and JD Silvergun, y'all given time to restream and crew this, and get it broadcast live. I definitely am looking forward to watching it back.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for playing.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Thank you to Don for joining me. Thanks to Malmo for the restream. Thanks to Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament.
Absolutely. I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop out, but just GG's to 2C again. Just so much respect for 2C as a runner. Just great runner and terrifying to race. He beat the brakes off me in the AD Keys tournament at the beginning of last year, and so always a pleasure to race. But scary.
You're no slouch yourself, but yeah, 2C definitely is a strong runner.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was a series that I think I'm a slight underdog in, but like it's not outside of range for me to win or for him to win. So those are always the fun ones, though. So looking forward to that. And I think then in the next round, I get the winner of Gamachu versus BDI. I haven't been keeping an eye on that series. Don't know how that one's going.
I think Gamachu took that one.
Oh, okay, cool. So looks like I'll get to then race Gamma if that's the result. So unless it's a reseeding bracket, I don't know. But I'll just see what the pairings are on challenge.
Malmo confirms in chat that you are up against Gamachu, so good luck to you.
All right, cool. Thank you. And looking forward to it. I'm sure we'll get those on the calendar here sometime soon. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hop out, but thank you so much for the restream. Take it easy.
Have a good night.